cut down the center. Okay? I did. I'm not sure. I think my knife did it down.
A little.
Okay. Right down, right? Just down the center. You're gonna flip it over. The breast, there's the that bone, center bone. You're gonna go on both sides of the center bone, cut right down. You don't have to cut deep. Oh, my knife is pretty small. Okay, so
Do you want to use my knife, Chef?
we see. So I'm just cutting along the bone, right? The center bone. And you don't cut the wishbone. You're gonna feel the bone, you're gonna stop. Right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the right side, same thing. Right, cut along the bone. Stop there. Once I hit the bone, I kind of stop there. You don't want to cut the bone. You can go all the way down if you want. Just be careful. You don't cut the tenderloin, right? You gotta ride the bone if you want to loosen it. Okay, so right there you stop. Okay, what I'm going to do now, because I'm right-handed, I'm going to flip it to my left on the side, right? It shouldn't be up this way. It shouldn't be like this, or it shouldn't be. Sometimes students making all kind of ways. Once you do it on the side like that, this is your handle. You're going to use this as a handle to hold, and you're going to open it up, right? So if you want to be able to see, you're going to go now, the wishbone is here. I stop there. You're going to feel the bone and cut along the wishbone. Okay, the wishbone is right there. I'm going to cut along the wishbone. As I cut along that you see the bone right there? It opens up, right? Now when it opens up, I can see what I'm doing now. I want to disjoint this bone from the body, right? Before I used to, like when I was learning, I kind of shake it, like I couldn't figure out where it was. I used to go down here, right? But it's the joint is here, so you're gonna lift it. Once you get along here, it opens up. You can see, right? So you're gonna use the tip. Use the tip of your knife and just kind of play around. Okay, where's the joint? Where's the joint? Right? Is it there? Is it here? You're gonna try to play around and say, oh, there it is, right? This is the joint right here. Right? So okay, there it is. I found it. Now when you find it, you're gonna keep scoring. Okay, keep scoring, and then you're gonna feel the tendons. There's a little tendons. You're gonna loosen that out. Once you loosen it, you're gonna put your knife down and just pull. You see, I'm not taking no effort. Like there's no effort. Just pull back until you see your oyster meat. Right. This is your drumstick. This is your thigh. Right at this point, there's the oyster meat. So once I see that, don't rip the skin off. Right. Stop. Right. So that was your handle. You put that down, and what you're gonna do is with your thumb. This is your thigh bone, right? Drumstick thigh bone. You're gonna put your finger under the thigh bone, right? Use that as a handle now, and with your tip of your knife, you're gonna go under the oyster meat. You see the oyster meat? With the tip, you're gonna go underneath, not under the bone. Sometimes you go under the bone. It's under the oyster meat, right? You're gonna loosen that oyster meat. Once you get it out like that, then you're gonna, you see when I'm not pulling, I'm kind of bending. And then at the same time, I use my knife to disjoint from the body, right? The thigh bone, right? I want to find out where the joint is. The gallery. Okay, so I'm looking for the joint where I can loosen, right? Just want to score basically, right? That's the bone, sometimes the bone. So once I'm there, it's loose, right? Then you're just gonna score, right? Score. Once you get that and there, all you do is the same thing, just pull. I didn't struggle, right? I didn't struggle. There's no effort. If you gotta pull and there's effort, like you're getting a hard time, stop and then just loosen it more. Okay, now that side off, I'm gonna flip it over. A lot of times when they do that, then they start moving the chicken all over the place. One side, other side. Now I don't have that, right? So okay, so I'm a little bit disadvantaged. But I'm gonna find that wishbone again, right? So I know that wishbone goes here, right? Make a V. You guys all know that, right? Wishbone. But now for some reason I cut the wishbone. You see the bone is loose, but it's okay. I'm just cutting along the bone, right? So now it's not facing me, it's away from me, so it's a little more tricky. And I don't have that bone to play with. So I just gotta try to fish where it is. I'm not sure that it may because it came off, it's already taken off, right? So I don't have the wishbone. So I'm just gonna kind of take that off. And I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to, same thing, just that I don't have the handle anymore, right? So I'm just scoring, right? And once I get here, I'm going to pull, right? until the oyster now is on this side, not that side. Right? It's upper side of the chicken. It's a pull, and once I see the skin like that by the thigh, I'll stop because I don't want to rip the meat off, the skin off. Then again, I go under the meat, put my thumb under the thigh bone, right? And then try to loosen the oyster meat. Once I loosen it, I'm pulling back, right? I'm bending it so that it kind of loosens the joint, the joint there, right? Then I can see where the joint is, right? Then I can continue scoring. Once I get it loose like that, I can just pull. There's no effort again. I just hold and pull. That's done. Now your tenderloin, right? You gotta think of your tenderloin. So what you're gonna do is you have this saddle bone, you have the wishbone. Right between this and this, there's no bone. With the tip of your knife, you're gonna go you don't want to cut the tenderloin either, so you have to be careful. And you're gonna go underneath, lift it up. Oops. And then there's the other one that cracked, right? You're gonna hold it down, right? When you hold it, then you're gonna take the tenderloin off. If you have a hard time and you don't want to rip the tender, you can just use a knife to loosen it. Comes right out. Right? You want a nice, it should look nice, right? Next thing you do, same thing here. Right? If you feel like, it's kind of hard to come off, right? Just use a knife to lightly score it, right? As long as you don't put your knife down, right? Score it. Okay. This is my two tenderloins. So the bone is good, right? No meat on the bone. Now you're gonna work with your chicken. This is normally like that, right? So it's this way. Now I lost my wing, right? So I don't have the wing, but I have this and this. So this is gonna be your handle, like this was your handle. I don't have a handle here, right? I don't have this to hold. So on this side of the leg and thigh, I'm going to hold this here. You're going to make an L on the inside of the thigh bone and the drumstick. Inside, not the outside, just the inside. Okay, so you're going to hold this and just cut. Don't be afraid to cut. Just cut all the way. You want to cut all the way to the end of the drumstick. Okay, so I'm going to hold and cut. Right, all the way to the end. Okay, you see that? Okay, and then I'm going to, since I don't have that as my hand, I'm going to flip it now. I flip it over, so I have this to hold. Now you want to take this two, you want to separate these two. So if you look at it, say, where's the joint? How do I know where the joint is? All you're going to do is look for the fat. There's each one got its fat right here and right here. That's where the joint is, right? Could be here, could be a little bit off center, but it's in this area. So you're gonna score and say, oh, that's not where it is. The bone is right there. Okay, it's in there. But okay, so you move your knife, go to the side. So oh, there it is. It's right there. It's off to the side of the fat, but it's there. Right. So you're gonna cut all the way. You're not gonna cut it off now. You're not gonna separate the thing. You're just gonna separate so it comes like the joint is separated. Right. The two is separated. You're gonna flip it. Right. When I tell you guys flip, that's what it is. Right. Means flip it so it's behind, so it's not in your way, right? And then from here, because you made it L, you're gonna follow this. Take up the the joint here. You're gonna take that thing. You're gonna push and roll, right? You're gonna push and roll. Okay? Get that off. Okay. Now you got this. You put it back again, right? Now you want to take this bone off. You're gonna use the back of your knife, right? So you don't want to use a boning knife because the boning knife doesn't have enough weight. So you use a French knife, if you have a cleaver, use a cleaver. So I crack the bone, I'm going to flip it behind me again, right? So it's out of my way. If the reason why I told you to cut it high, so you see when I did that, the bone pops right out. If you don't cut it high and the skin is still over here, it's going to hold this bone from popping out. Then you're going to struggle. When you cut it high enough, then it will pop right out. Or you just pull down. You see this little fine bone here, you want to go behind that bone. And just work around. Right, work around. Right? And then you just want to take this bone out. Okay, once you take that out, then it's set. Okay, now I want to cut it off until everything comes up. And you do not separate these ahead of time. It's after everything, then you separate it. Okay, so not as soon as they forget and they separate it. Okay, then you take that off. Now I'm going to take off all the knuckle and all the gristle and all that stuff that's on the tie.
This is coming back to me.
Coming back to me. Funny guy. Yes, you take all this off. And save all that, that's all for stock, right? I'm gonna take this off. So anything with bone or little seam, you can leave that on. It's not like you got to take that off. I got a little, this one here, little cartilage. I'm gonna take it off. Okay, so once it's clean, once you say, okay, you feel there's no cartilage or like this is okay. We're not like the fundamentals of technique. I can take it all off. Right now you can take it off. Okay, cut it off and then cut a bone. There's a bone right there. So you gotta feel your thing. Right, there's a bone right there. Okay, so now you take it off, clean it up a little bit, right? And then you can roll it up. And normally you would have your listen, normally you get your wing bone, right? And you take it off, but there's no wing bone, so you just want to kind of get this screwed up. And you just like this, just cut it off. And so it looks pretty presentable. This is all beat up over here, so you cut it off. So as you see how the breast shouldn't be like that, but you got beat up on this one. Okay, so now we're going to put this one.